Have you ever watched your life-saving emergency gear get towed like rusty junk because it ruined the curb appeal? What if the HOA queen decided her laminated rule book outranked federal law and actual human lives? And how delicious does it taste when the quiet guy she spent months bullying quietly builds a case that ends with her in federal handcuffs on live TV? It was one of those perfect Arizona mornings in Saguaro Heights Estates, the upscale Phoenix suburb where 852 retirees and young families waved from their identical beige stucco homes and pretended everything was fine. Property values stayed sky-high. Drama supposedly stayed low. I'm Ethan Brooks, 51, running a one-man electrical contracting gig while volunteering 12 years with Puma County Fire District. My wife Emily's a night shift nurse at Valley Regional. We moved here 3 years ago chasing that quiet retirement dream everyone sells you. The emergency response trailer parked in my driveway wasn't mine. It was Unit 4, federal property bought with FEMA disaster grants, assigned to my house because I live in the coverage gap and know how to keep the comms and generators humming. Chief Ramirez picked me personally, $250 monthly stipend, department saves on station rent, everybody wins. Most neighbors barely noticed the thing. Dave Morrison next door, retired teacher, actually liked it. Makes me sleep better knowing help's 20 feet away, he'd say while watering his tomatoes. Then Victoria Harrington bought the house beside us. 44, former corporate compliance shark, now full-time HOA president for her 5th straight term. She drove a white BMW X5 that purred with pure entitlement and smelled like vanilla air freshener, trying to cover the stench of control issues. First week, she's out there snapping photos of my trailer from every angle like a real estate paparazzo. Week 2, certified letter in my mailbox. Covenant 15C, no commercial, emergency, or visually disruptive vehicles allowed. $200 fine, 48-hour deadline. Enter Victoria, clipboard clutched like a royal scepter. She'd measure grass blades with a digital ruler and dream in violation codes. Dave warned me. Ethan, the woman's got ruler PTSD. Stay invisible. Too late. Friday evening, I walked over to her perfectly manicured fortress. Vanilla candles fought the sprinkler hum. Victoria, I said politely, this trailer is federal emergency equipment. It coordinates wildfire evacuations, powers comms when cell towers die. Lives literally depend on it. She didn't even look up. Sweetie. Community standards exist for a reason. That patronizing smile, pure poison wrapped in politeness. I explained the federal paperwork, the grants, the chief's letter. She cut me off with the same tone people use when they're savoring your pain. File an appeal if you disagree. So I did. In building a binder that would make a federal prosecutor jealous, fire department affidavits, FEMA regs, volunteer credentials, everything cross-referenced and tabbed. Victoria spent her Saturday playing neighborhood detective, photographing my trailer like it was evidence in a murder case, measuring its exact footprint with that sacred ruler of hers. Sunday at 11:47 p.m., because normal people don't sleep when they're on a power trip, the denial email hit. Appeal rejected. Commercial fire equipment prohibited regardless of ownership. Towing authorized Thursday, 7 a.m. That's when I knew it wasn't about rules. She'd chosen my driveway as her personal Alamo and didn't give a damn about facts or firefighters dying because their gear was locked in some impound lot. Thursday morning, the hydraulic whine ripped me out of bed. Southwest towing already in my driveway like vultures on roadkill. Victoria stood there in designer heels, clipboard pressed to her chest like body armor, white BMW purring behind the truck. Vanilla clashing with diesel in the rising desert heat. Morning, Ethan, she sang with lottery winner glee. Should have read those covenants more carefully. The tow guy, Carlos, looked miserable. Man, this is serious gear, generators, comm arrays, medical kits. Worth more than my house. Victoria just checked items off her little enforcement list, like Santa marking naughty children. Storage fees start today, $250 a day until I learned respect. My neighbor Dave froze in his doorway, coffee mug halfway to his lips, watching the bureaucratic kidnapping in slow motion. I followed the truck to the yard. Our initial fee, $250 daily storage. Release only with HOA approval. That afternoon, Chief Ramirez stared at the paperwork like it was a casualty report. Ethan, that trailer is our mobile command for wildfire season. Flash flood threats too. We can't deploy. Your HOA president just became a federal problem. I remembered the training, Emergency Management Assistance Compact. Unauthorized seizure of federally funded disaster equipment triggers multi-agency investigations. Translation: stealing government property isn't a neighborhood spat. It's a felony with orange jumpsuits attached. Chief's face went dark. Word spread through the volunteer network faster than gossip at a church potluck. Other firefighters swapped HOA horror stories, equipment battles, bureaucrats treating lifesavers like lawn ornaments. That night, Emily and I spread the covenants across the kitchen table like battle maps. Buried in the legalese, I found gold. Arizona Statute 48 to 8005 explicitly exempts emergency services from local restrictions. Local governments, including power-drunk HOAs, cannot impede disaster response. Period. Friday morning, I filed formal complaints with the county fire marshal. He got it instantly. We've tangled with these aesthetic tyrants before. They care about grass length until body bags hit the news. The delicious irony? Victoria's own landscaping violated 3 of her precious rules. I could see it from my bedroom window with binoculars. Friday evening phone call. Regulations protect this equipment. You've seized government property. Her laugh could have frozen the desert. This is private property with private rules. Pay your storage or lose your toys forever. Click. I speed-dialed the chief. Victoria spent her weekend turning into a one-woman FBI, digging public records, discovering my wildfire evacuations, flash flood rescues, pile-up coordinations. Her brilliant conclusion? I was an attention-seeking volunteer with a hero complex. Monday's emergency board meeting, 48-hour notice so working folks couldn't attend, passed her new clarification. Emergency exemptions only apply during active deployment, not storage. They literally invented a rule to criminalize my trailer. But here's where her amateur sleuthing blew up in her face like cheap fireworks. Fire Department Attorney Rebecca Santos, ex-federal prosecutor, reviewed everything and found pure legal dynamite. Unit 4 was registered as federal asset, a 7749, bought entirely with FEMA money. Under the Stafford Act, that equipment remains federal property no matter who stores it. Unauthorized seizure equals theft of government property, felony, up to 5 years. Local HOA covenants don't override federal criminal law, no matter how much lamination you use. Chief escalated to FEMA's regional office. Agent Sarah Doyle confirmed the registration and opened an investigation into obstruction of federally funded emergency capabilities. The bureaucratic machine started grinding. Victoria's response? She filed county code complaints claiming I ran an unlicensed emergency business from my house. Her manifesto read like paranoid fan fiction. County inspector showed up, took one look, and laughed. Volunteer fire support isn't commercial, ma'am. You're wasting taxpayer dollars. Then the real bomb dropped. I'd, sweating. Ethan, I shouldn't say this, but your HOA president's been running kickbacks. $75 cash per tow. 2 years, 23 jobs. She's pocketed serious money. Public records requests under Arizona sunshine laws proved it. $1,375 documented kickbacks plus whatever else her criminal creativity cooked up. Pattern recognition hit like a siren. Elderly widows fined for garden gnomes, single moms cited for Christmas lights, veterans ticketed for trucks parked an inch too far. Systematic targeting of anyone who couldn't fight back. Agent Doyle started neighborhood preparedness surveys. Real investigators don't announce themselves until the cuffs click. Victoria remained gloriously clueless that her little power trip had become a multi-agency federal case. Her weekend voicemail vibrated my phone off the counter. You've made this personal, Ethan. I will destroy you, your reputation, everything you love. Emily listened, nurse instincts kicking in. That's a woman having a full psychotic break on tape. I saved it. Witness intimidation, federal bonus charge. Victoria escalated like someone pouring gasoline on a wildfire. Certified mail lawsuit during our Memorial Day barbecue. $25,000 defamation claim served by her brother-in-law in front of the whole neighborhood. She stood on the sidewalk in heels, announcing to 3 blocks, "This is what happens to troublemakers who think rules don't apply to them." Charcoal smoke mixed with her vanilla perfume. Festive atmosphere for financial ruin. Her lawyer brother-in-law called Rebecca Santos hours later, voice shaking like a chihuahua on espresso. "Perhaps we should discuss settlement. This situation appears more complex." Rebecca's reply was Arctic. "Your client just sued a federal witness during an active criminal investigation. You're either brave or dangerously stupid about obstruction statutes." The intimidation worked on some. Neighbors suddenly had urgent appointments when I walked by. But the rest of us formed the Saguaro Truth Coalition. Dave connected me with Eleanor Vasquez, 78, fined for unauthorized gnome aesthetic disruption. Sarah Kim, single mom ticketed for patriotic doormat. Tom Rodriguez, Marine vet cited for invisible driveway lines. My security cameras caught Victoria's midnight missions, 2 a.m. Ruler measurements, covert photography, red ink violation notices that looked like ransom letters. IRS got tipped on the unreported kickbacks, felony tax evasion. Private Facebook group exploded with 89 residents uploading evidence. Channel 12 investigative reporter David Park started sniffing around. Victoria's nuclear meltdown arrived via motion-activated floodlights aimed at my driveway. Light pollution bright enough to guide planes. 12 neighbors cited her under her own rules. Property values dropped 12% as buyers fled the community under federal investigation. Insurance company audited 2 years of enforcement data and dropped us. Discriminatory patterns create unacceptable liability. Arizona law requires HOA insurance. Sudden $600 emergency assessments per homeowner. Her final desperate act. Amended lawsuit claiming my church electrical work was commercial exploitation. Board tried to install her daughter as successor. Community revolted, 94% voter turnout, 3 qualified candidates. Daughter withdrew after legal advice. Then the trap. Temporary storage shed, obvious violation. Victoria predictably pounced, trespassing with her ruler, while hidden cameras and federal agents recorded everything. Discrimination rants, kickback solicitations, threats, all on crystal-clear footage. Friday morning, federal marshals hit her house at 6 a.m. News choppers caught the perp walk. Victoria in bathrobe and fuzzy slippers, designer heels left behind. Simultaneous emergency board meeting and U.S. attorney press conference. 14 counts, civil rights violations, tax evasion, wire fraud, conspiracy, obstruction, theft of federal property. Maximum 18 years. At the Pack Community Center, Rebecca presented an 18-minute evidence masterpiece. Photos of midnight ruler missions, audio of certain demographics' lower property values, financial spreadsheets showing $57,200 embezzled. Gasps turned to standing ovation when the board unanimously removed her. 6 months later, Victoria pled guilty to avoid trial. 24 months federal prison, $127,000 restitution, homes sold to pay judgments. I was elected new HOA president 852-0. We rewrote the covenants. Transparent finances, anti-discrimination training, no more ruler fetish. Property values rebounded 18%. Nationwide reinstated coverage at 35% lower premium. The old trailer sits proudly again, now powering community solar projects and disaster training. Victoria's digital calipers and sound meters, donated to the high school STEM club with a plaque, tools for learning, not oppression. Sometimes the clipboard queens forget, you can bully neighbors, but you can't bully federal law. Patience and paperwork beat screaming and rulers every single time. Personal takeaway. Next time an HOA Karen tries to tow your freedom, stay calm, document everything, and let federal statutes do the heavy lifting. Bullies thrive on fear, justice thrives on receipts. Stay quiet, build the case, then watch the throne crumble.